Welcome, everyone, to this special series where we're exploring what it really means to be an alt-link here at Alter.
That's right. Alter, the marketing and advertising agency with that big vision.
To be recognized as the home of limitless creativity. Love that.
Me too. And today we're diving deep into one of our core values. It's E2E ownership.
E2E ownership. Okay.
And look, this isn't just some, catchy phrase we have on a poster. It's really fundamental to how we operate, how we succeed together.
Right.
The value itself states, I complete my tasks thoroughly, ensuring that all work is finished and delivered as expected.
Okay, thoroughly and as expected. Seems straightforward, but I suspect there's more to it.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely more than just ticking off items on a to-do list.
So let's unpack that. What does E2E ownership actually look like, day to day here? And maybe, just as crucial, what isn't it?
Good question. At its heart, E2E ownership is about seeing things through, right from the very beginning,
From the start.
all the way to the finish line. And honestly, sometimes even a bit beyond that.
Okay, so not just starting tasks, but really completing them.
Exactly. It's not just handling your specific piece and then, washing your hands of it.
Right, passing the baton.
Well, yeah, it's less like just running your leg of a relay race. Think of it more like you're responsible for the whole event. Setup, execution, tear down, the whole deal.
That's a helpful way to put it. So it's really about owning all those steps in between. It feels like the how we do things is maybe just as important as the what we end up delivering.
Absolutely spot on. Owning every detail really matters. The quality, the execution, how thorough we are, the attention we pay,
Yeah.
that directly shapes the final outcome.
And I guess our reputation too, right?
Definitely our reputation.
Right.
It's about taking real pride in the whole process, not just the final shiny object.
So would you say a big part of this then is accountability?
Precisely. It's about personal responsibility, knowing what your contribution is, owning it, but also understanding how it connects to everything else.
The bigger picture.
The bigger picture, exactly. You're not just a cog. You're a vital part of making the whole thing work smoothly. Where do you see this, really making a difference for us?
Well, I think especially when things get complicated. Maybe multiple teams involved, lots of handoffs. E2E ownership feels like the glue that stops things, falling through the cracks.
That's a really key point. It means you have to think ahead a bit.
Anticipate issues.
Yeah, anticipate potential snags, maybe, and proactively close any open loops. That could be in the task itself or even just in communication, making sure everyone's on the same page.
And that double-checking piece you mentioned in the value statement.
Right. It's about that extra step of checking your work, not because your manager told you to, but because you want to ensure it's right before it goes anywhere else. It's that internal quality control.
And you mentioned following up, even after something seems done. Why is that last check so important?
The follow-up. It's crucial because it confirms that what we delivered actually, worked. Did it meet the need? Is it performing as expected out there in the wild?
Okay.
It helps catch any unforeseen issues quickly, and honestly, it just leads to stronger results and happier clients, happier teams.
Okay, this makes a lot of sense conceptually. You've got a good handle on what E2E ownership is. Can we maybe walk through some real examples across different teams here at Alter?
Yeah, let's do that. Makes it more tangible. Take client success, for instance.
Okay.
E2E ownership for them isn't just, say, forwarding an email with client feedback.
Right, not just passing the message along.
No. It's making sure that feedback gets to the right people, the ones who need to act on it. It's checking if timelines need adjusting because of it. It's making sure the client feels heard and supported through that whole feedback loop.
So they're owning the client's experience around that feedback.
Exactly. They're like the guardians of the client journey in that moment.
Okay, cool. What about, say, our design team? Lots of creative work there.
For design, sure, it's creating great visuals, but E2E goes further. It means really ensuring those layouts meet all the technical specs, for web, for print, for social.
So it actually works where it's supposed to go.
Precisely. Imagine a beautiful design that just breaks on mobile. Not good. It also means keeping track of versions that can get messy.
Oh, yeah.
And critically, checking that the final files are set up correctly for the end use, that they match the brief, that they follow the brand guidelines. It's the whole usability package.
Got it. Technical and strategic success, not just aesthetics. How about the copy team? Words matter.
They really do. For copy, E2E isn't just writing the text. It's crafting the right tone for the audience. It's rigorously proofreading, not just for typos, but for clarity, flow, accuracy.
Making sure the message lands.
Exactly. Asking, does this actually communicate what we need it to? Will it achieve the goal? They own the effectiveness of that communication.
Owners of the message's impact. Okay. Video production, that always seems like it has a million moving parts.
It often does. So E2E there means guaranteeing that final video is truly polished. Like, is the audio clean? Balanced? Are subtitles accurate and timed right?
Little details that make a big difference.
Huge difference. And even technical things like, are the export settings optimized for YouTube versus, say, Instagram? That stuff matters for how professional it looks and feels.
Absolutely. Those details signal quality. Okay, shift gears. Performance team. Data, campaigns, optimization.
Right. For performance, E2E is really a continuous cycle. It's not launch and forget.
No.
Definitely not. It's constantly tracking results, conversions, click-through rates, whatever the metrics are. It's actively managing the budget. It's tweaking the strategy based on what the data tells you.
Adapting on the fly.
Exactly. And, crucially, keeping the client in the loop about how things are going and what the next steps should be. They own the campaign's ongoing success and improvement.
Owning the outcomes and the learning makes sense. How does this idea apply internally, like, say, for our HR team?
Good one. In HR, E2E ownership means more than just sending out an employee survey. It means really digging into that feedback, analyzing it properly, figuring out what changes might actually improve things for people here.
And then actually doing them.
And then doing them. Implementing those changes. And then here's the E2E part again, following up later to see if they actually made a positive impact. Did it work? They own that cycle of improvement for our workplace culture.
Owning the employee experience evolution. Got it. What about accounts? Finance side of things.
For accounts, E2E goes beyond just crunching numbers. It involves verifying project timelines to make sure billing is accurate.
Right.
It means digging in to resolve any discrepancies, maybe between hours log and client expectations, and ensuring the final invoices accurately reflect the actual work completed and delivered. They own the financial integrity.
Ensuring the numbers tell the true story. Okay. Sales and marketing bringing in the business.
Yeah, for sales and marketing, E2E is about that whole journey. Nurturing leads, managing campaigns from start to finish.
Not just the initial contact.
No, it's the consistent follow-up. It's adjusting the approach if something isn't working. It's making sure efforts align with the bigger business objectives to get, real, tangible results. They own that whole funnel.
Owning the path from prospect to successful outcome. How about our social team? They're out there engaging constantly.
E2E for social isn't just hitting schedule on posts. It's actively watching how that content performs. Are people engaging? What are they saying?
Listening and responding.
Yes. Thoughtful engagement. And then using those insights, what worked, what didn't, to make the next piece of content better. It's a constant feedback loop they own.
Continuous improvement driven by ownership. Okay, one more layer.
Yeah.
Leadership. How does E2E look from their perspective?
Well, for leaders, E2E is largely about empowering others to take ownership.
Enabling it in their teams.
Exactly. Providing really clear direction, making sure teams have what they need, resources, support, clarity. It's proactively asking, hey, what do you need from me to get this done right?
Removing roadblocks.
Removing roadblocks and just fostering a culture where taking initiative, where owning your piece fully is the norm. They own the creation of that environment.
So they're cultivating the ground for E2E to thrive everywhere. It really does sound like it's more than just individual effort. It's a collective mindset.
It has to be.
Why is this specific value, E2E ownership, so critical for us here at Alter?
Well, fundamentally, it's tied directly to the quality of our work.
Yeah.
It's what allows us to deliver at such a high standard consistently.
And builds trust, I imagine.
Absolutely. Builds trust within teams. You can rely on your colleagues, and huge trust with our clients. They see we're thorough, we're accountable.
Keeps everyone pulling in the same direction, too.
Yeah, especially in our world, things move fast. E2E helps keep everyone aligned and agile. When everyone really takes full ownership, excellence just sort of happens. It becomes part of the culture.
Not something pushed from the top down.
Right. It's embedded.
This has been super clarifying. Thanks. As we start to wrap up, maybe leave us with a few things to think about, like questions we can ask ourselves to check if we're truly living this E2E value.
Sure. Maybe reflect on these. When you take on a task, do you really think it all the way through to the end, to its actual impact?
Okay.
Do you make sure all the related bits, communications, other small tasks are fully closed out, no loose ends?
Good one.
And maybe most importantly, when you deliver your work, do you feel confident it's complete, it's clear, it's accurate, and it truly meets the need?
those are powerful questions for self-reflection. It really drives home that E2E ownership is, yeah, much more than just finishing stuff.
It really is. It's about a deep commitment, a commitment to excellence and taking that personal responsibility for the ripple effect of our work.
And when we all embrace that every day in everything we do, we're not just doing our jobs, we're actively building a stronger alter,
More collaborative.
more creative.
Absolutely. So maybe the thought to leave you with is, how can you lean into E2E ownership even more in your role, within your team? It's not a one-time thing, right?
No, it's a continuous practice.
Exactly. And it really strengthens all of us.
Great stuff. Tomorrow, we'll actually be digging into another one of Alter's core values. But for now, we really encourage you to keep mulling over this idea of E2E ownership. Think about how it shows up in your work and how it fuels our collective vision for limitless creativity.